water leak detection. Have you recently had a pipe leak in your home and the quality of service that you received was atrocious? Then what you need to do is search for another company so that next time you have a leak you know exactly who to call for help. After all, once you discover a leak in your home you will hardly have the time to search for a good quality plumbing service. Being prepared in such situations is important and can be the difference between a minor nuisance and a costly disaster. If you have never had plumbing issues that you couldn't fix before and haven't had the need to search for a Dallas pipe leak repair company, then you may need to first educate yourself on what things you should look out for. The difference between a good company and a bad one may seem subtle at first, but when you familiarize yourself with what signs you need to look out, then the difference will seem significant and obvious. Non-destructive methods. There are many different methods that are available to plumbing companies to fix your leaks without having to damage much of your home. In some cases there may need to be some damage done, but an experienced professional will have the tools and skills to minimize it. On the other hand, if you notice that a Dallas pool leak repair professional comes to your house to fix a problem and seems to be destroying more of your property than is necessary, then you need to intervene. Their response time is important. One of the things that you should ask your Dallas pipe leak repair company is how quickly they are able to come to your house after you call them up for an emergency type issue. A lot of plumbing companies are set up with respond within a couple of hours, because they understand that in certain cases a leak can cause significantly more damage the longer it is left unfixed. Is their pricing competitive? There are many plumbing companies to choose from no matter what area you may live in, and for this reason you should search for a company that offers competitive rates for the work that they do. Initially you may not have much understanding of what a competitive rate is. However, after phoning up several companies you will slowly begin to get a better understanding of how much you should pay for certain types of jobs. You need to be careful when selecting a Dallas plumbing leak repair service, because some may not provide the quality of service that you are entitled to. Unfortunately, if your need for a plumbing service is immediate, then you may not have the time to thoroughly check out a lot of different service providers in the hopes of finding a very good one. For this reason it is a good idea to search for a plumbing service even if you do not have an immediate need to hire one. Simply take the time to find a Dallas leak repair service that has a good reputation and affordable prices, then keep their contact details stored away somewhere until you need to use them. When choosing a plumbing service there are some key things you should look out in order to find one that offers a high quality of service. If you have never searched for a plumbing service before and do not know what to look out for, then read on. How long have they been in business? No matter what promises a plumbing company makes, they may not be able to deliver if they have only been operating in the industry for a short period of time. It is natural for new service providers to go through teething problems and as a result their service may fall short in terms of quality in certain areas. On the other hand, if you were to choose a plumbing service that has over 25 years of experience, then you can be confident that they have the experience to solve the most problematic of leaks. Upfront pricing. Try to choose a plumbing service that will give you an upfront price and will not ask for any additional payments post-service. This is because there are dishonest service providers out there that try to create extra work for themselves so that they can charge you extra when the job is completed. What are their affiliations and certifications? If a plumbing service has the Better Business Bureau logo on their website and affiliations with bodies such as the America Water Works Association, then it is a very good sign. It shows that regulatory organizations in the industry have approved them, because they are able to provide a good quality service. Depending on whether a temporary issue or symptoms of a total breakdown are affecting your system, water heater repair can involve working on any number of different parts and components that make up the heating unit itself. Like many other aspects of your home that involve complicated pieces of equipment, both the problems and the solutions can come in all different shapes and sizes. unless you have significant experience working on these types of heaters, it is almost always best to let a professional handle any repairs that need to be done to prevent further damage to the unit. As the homeowner or building manager, you can aid the technician by making sure you recognize the symptoms of a potential problem and understand how to address it. Obviously, the most common issue that foreshadows water heater repair is a lack of a consistently warm flow coming from your home or building's faucets. This can be caused by a number of different factors, but the most common are typically trouble with the thermostat or with the heating element itself. Thermostats attached to the unit can typically be tested to determine if they are working properly. A technician can do this to show you whether a replacement is needed. Replacing the heating element is far more costly and time-consuming, and it is usually a last-ditch effort after all other potential issues have been ruled out. These elements are designed to operate for significant periods of time under high levels of stress, but like any machine, they can wear down over time and eventually will need to be switched out, especially in older units. If the flow coming out of your pipes is too hot, examining, testing, and potentially switching out the high limit cutoff can help to address the situation. This device is what caps the unit's hottest temperature at a certain point to prevent it from warming too much. One of the most common concerns pool owners have is that little piece of paradise will develop a leak. They are right to be worried. The average residential swimming pool has over 1,200 square feet of surface area and hundreds of feet of plumbing underneath it. A hole the size of the head at the end can cause a pool to lose hundreds of gallons of water each a day. Like most structural problems, leaks are degenerative. In other words, they tend to get a lot worse and a lot more expensive unless they are repaired ASAP. As we mentioned, finding the actual leak is unlikely, but there are signs and symptoms that every pool owner should keep a close eye on. The most obvious one is water loss. If your swimming pool loses more than an inch of water in a 24-hour period, a leak is the most likely culprit. Leaks can also cause algae to form, even if the water has been treated. A leaky pool will also cause your automatic filler to constantly release more water to keep the pool filled. What will they do? An experienced Dallas swimming pool leak repair professional will generally use two tests to locate a leak. The first is called a pressure test and it is used to assess the integrity of the plumbing system. Water is put into each line and if the pressure drops, it means there is a leak in that line. After he visually identifies possible leak locations, the repairman will squirt a small amount of dye in the area to see if the suspected leak is actually resulting in water loss. If the dye is pulled out of the pool, the leak has been found. This simple and affordable test is highly effective at identifying leaks in every type of residential swimming pool. When to call in a Dallas/Fort Worth drainage expert if you are experiencing drainage problems in your home, in any residential environment or in any commercial or industrial property that you own, it is important to be vigilant in dealing with drainage problems quickly. Likewise, even owners of raw land need to be aware of the damage that water can do and need to act promptly to deal with water issues.